Happy Trans Awareness Week! Stop killing us! This week is Trans Awareness Week and today is Trans Day of Remembrance. Today our community pays its respects and pays homage to all of the members of our community that have been murdered this year. This year it's 375 people that we know about, and an appalling amount of those people are unnamed women. You can find a list of names and more information about TDAW in my description down below. But I want to talk about something a little more cheery. And while TDAW is very important, I think the other 6 days of Trans Awareness Week are a complete farce. I had the pleasure of speaking in a Twitter space last night about Trans Awareness Week, and I was joined by Kieran Evericks and Alexandra Billings, among many other people, and we talked about the necessity of Trans Awareness Week and how it can be better. And I think a lot of us were in agreement that we need more than awareness at this point. You know we exist because you keep killing us, you keep writing about us, you keep stripping us of our rights. You know we exist, you are aware of us, and what I think we need to do if we're going to do an Awareness Week, I think we need to talk about the diversity of our community. We need to talk about the variety of different identities that we have and the variety of experiences that our community has. There is no one way to be trans. In a room of 100 trans people, you've got 150 ways to be trans. During this week, when we should be celebrating and showcasing our diversity, instead we are educating on the most basic things about transness that can easily be Googled. And most of the people interrogating us on these things don't want to listen. They want to hear a specific answer that they're never going to get. So what is the point in Trans Awareness Week if we're not accomplishing anything? Instead, I would very much love to see a Trans Joy Week where we don't even try to educate people on the basic things because it's out there on Google. Very easy to find out the answers, but instead you want to probe into individual trans people's lives and existences. I would love to see a week where all we do is share selfies and share moments where we have felt that trans joy. I just want to celebrate as trans people with other trans people. I want to leave non-trans people out of it because it's not a week for them, it's a week for us to celebrate ourselves and our community. A week where we can actually celebrate on our own behalf instead of educating on your behalf. And even better, Trans Joy Year or Trans Joy Forever. That would be lovely. And during this week we're not really getting that. The only people really engaging with Trans Awareness Week are trans people, which is great, love seeing you, and transphobes. I don't see trans allies celebrating with us this week. And now more than ever, we need you. So here are my tips on how to be the best trans ally that you can be. I do not speak on behalf of my entire community, I am just one trans person on the internet. And these are not all of the things you can do to be a good trans ally. Here's just some things that I mind mapped over there this morning. Number 1, and I touched on this already, educate yourselves. There is a plethora of information on Google. You can Google any question and you will get the answer. There are so many wonderful trans creators out here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, any social media platform you can think of. We are out there and we are providing insight for free. You can find that. You can go and Google a question and we might pop up with the answer. You don't need to ask a trans person that you know every question that comes into your head. You are very much welcome to go away and Google that, and then if you struggle, then maybe come to us. And be mindful of the sources that you use when you are educating yourself. Try and find sources that are trans themselves. So obviously on YouTube there are so many trans creators, it's really not hard to find us. Please don't listen to cis people about trans issues. because you do run the risk of misinformation. It's so very easy to talk about a community incorrectly when you are not a part of that community. You miss the nuance, you miss the diversity, and you miss the individuality. When you are a cis voice and spreading that misinformation, it grows because you're listened to. When you're finding these trans creators and these trans voices, if you have further questions based on what they've said, try searching on their channel first. Try searching on their other social media accounts first. Try searching on other people's accounts. Other trans people might have answered that question that you got from somebody else. You don't need to go straight to asking it in their comment sections. It's just not necessary. The answer will be out there. Perhaps if you need to ask where you can find the answer. Do you have a creator that might be able to answer questions about surgery, for example? Because not every trans person on the internet will be talking about surgeries or hormones or anything medical. Number 2, listen to trans voices. And I know I just said this in the first point, but what I mean is make friends with trans people. Listen to what we say about being trans. Listen to the stories that we offer up and the stories that we tell. Listen to our social media posts. Just listen to our experiences. Actively listen, take it in. If you have questions, write them down, take a little note, and then go away and research that. Just be a listening voice. You don't have to be a speaking voice in these conversations. Number 3, if you are going to be asking us questions about transness, remember that you need to ask before you ask. We don't exist solely to educate on the trans experience. Me walking down the street wearing my trans flag badges is not an excuse to stop me and ask how surgeries work. We don't always have the emotional energy to take on these questions. Sometimes we are busy doing something else and we don't have time to talk. Sometimes we just don't want to in that moment. So ask us if you can ask us a question first. If you are close friends with a trans person, we're more than likely to want to answer your question. We will happily have that discussion with you, but we do like a heads up. And we don't want our entire friendship to be you asking us about trans stuff, because we are just one voice, and if you're only asking us in every conversation we have, it's not a balanced viewpoint that you're getting. And also, it becomes really dull to talk to you and we just won't want to hang out with you. Try something like this. Hey, I have questions about insert topic here. Do you have time to maybe grab a coffee and chat about it? I'm buying. Here's the research that I've done myself, or here's the attempts that I've made to answer this question for myself, but I just haven't got to the answer. And I would really value your insight into it. It's a good place to start. You don't have to ask it like that, but there's just an idea for you. And definitely do ask questions too. Some can only be answered by a personal experience that you probably just won't find on the internet. But just be mindful that it's not becoming an interrogation. Doing a deep dive into our intimate, personal, individual medical history will not help you as much as you think it will. Number 4, zero tolerance on transphobia. If you see it, challenge it. Do not tag in your trans friends to transphobic discourse on Twitter specifically, but anywhere else on the internet. Just don't. Number 1, you could be outing us, which is very, very dangerous. Number 2, you're bringing our names into the vocab of a transphobe, so they are just going to come after us. 3, it's very upsetting to see it. So back when I was in the news for something completely not related to my gender identity at all, and some comments were made, lots of misgendering happened, I was tagged in it a lot. Like, hey Max, do you know that they've misgendered you? I thought you'd want to know so you can fix it. Don't do that. You have identified the problem and you know how to fix it. You don't have to bring it to me to fix it. You can take a zero tolerance stance on transphobia without me being there. If you see us on the receiving end of transphobia, consider stepping in. It's not always appropriate for you to come and wade into an argument, so maybe ask us if we want backup first, or you can quietly come to us privately and say, hey, I know who you are who you say you are, and combat the transphobia that way. Provide us with support, love and reassurance. But if you can take on a transphobe instead of us, do it. Don't start a fight in my comment section, but if there's a fight happening, go right ahead. Number 5, don't support transphobic celebrities, artists, businesses, because we can see that. We see you supporting transphobes and that makes us question whether you are actually an ally. Do you care about our safety? Because the things they incite with public transphobia affects us on a private and personal level. When they are inciting violence towards us, we don't want to see you supporting them. Even though they're celebrities and you think that it's not having a direct impact on us because we are small little unfamous people, it does. Little actions can have big impacts, especially when you are in the public eye and trusted and respected. Number 6. Never use us in an argument. It's just unacceptable. My kids are trans and they experience it this way. I have a trans friend and they have never once used the women's restroom. Why? I know lots of trans people. So, your allyship should be able to stand on its own without leaning on your proximity to us. It's not cool, it's not the mic drop that you think it is. It's really harmful, and we see you. Number 7, understand that you will make mistakes, and us calling you out on that is not an attack. Even if we're really upset in the moment, and we say some words and we cuss at you, it's not about you, it's not an attack. We want you to be better, and sometimes the mistakes you make can be really harmful. And you can't always expect diplomacy when harm is being thrown our way. Us calling you out like that is not a reason to stop being an ally. That is a reason for you to go back to point 1, educate yourself, try and do the best that you can by yourself, then go and apologise. And if you have any further questions, ask them before you ask the questions. Because most of the time, we want to see you be better. Just listen and learn from it. Number 8, use our pronouns without question. Unless you are asking specifically how to use it properly in a sentence, that's okay. Without hesitation, without weirdness, just do it. And we understand that mistakes happen. It goes back to my last point. No one is going to go straight into perfection 100% of the time. That's okay. We want a genuine attempt, we want genuine practice, and we want genuine improvement. Go away and practice in the mirror, practice writing it down. Max, they like cake. They have a garden in their windowsill. They are wearing an orange jumper. It is that simple. And when you're using our pronouns in front of other people, you don't need to explain them. You really don't. For example, oh yeah, I was seeing my friend Max the other day and they were talking about an experience that happened to them. Oh, by the way, I call them because they're genderqueer, they're non-binary. You don't need to do that. Just use our pronouns, and if they ask questions of, oh, why are you calling them they? Why? Then, if you have permission from that trans person, then you can answer that question, but you don't need to go straight into explaining it. Apologise for slip-ups and just quietly correct them. Don't do that thing where you, oh yeah, Max, she, oh my god, I'm so sorry, no, this has happened, I'm the worst, I try really hard to, don't. Max, she, sorry, they, that's how simple it is. You can also take your friend aside afterwards and say, hey, I'm really sorry about that, it won't happen again. Just a little bit, you don't need to grovel, don't need to beg, don't cry about it, just make sure that we're okay and move on. Lastly, number 9, celebrate with us, because we're more than the politics. We have memes, we have jokes, we have fashion, we have our own media, we have so much more to offer than just the politics and explanation of it. We have a whole culture and we have a great time, so join in, celebrate with us, hang out with us, party with us. It doesn't always have to be about being trans all the time. Just come and sit in a room with trans people and talk about the weather and food and a bar that you want to go out to later. Because there's nothing worse than someone who always wants to talk about being trans to you just to learn about it. it gets boring. It really does. From one trans person to whoever is watching this. I don't want to talk about it all the time, so I talk about other stuff on this channel. So those are weirdly 9 tips for being a good trans ally. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you have. In my comments section down below, say something nice. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time with at least one bonus video every single month. Apart from next month, which is Vlogtide, and there's going to be 21 videos in 21 days in the run-up to Yule. See ya!